how I cope with negative emotions on quarantine because something is unresolved inside of you. Energy does not die. Healthy ways that we can release that energy. I don't always know how people can help me. It is only transferred or transformed, or I don't want people to feel bad for me. I just want to say it enough to where you actually believe it. But the one thing that I found help, find an avenue of expression, but you will get into a flow state and then your creative juices begin to fly. What's up, all of my friends? My name is Eden Gold. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm an author, I'm a coach, and I have a video for you today that was recommended to me by somebody who follows me on Instagram, which, by the way, shameless plug, is at @EdenGold_. Is my camera crooked? So somebody reached out to me on Instagram and asked me how I cope with negative emotions on quarantine or bad emotions. And I was like, girl, I can make a video on that for you because I have some really good tips that you can apply to your life immediately on how you can cope with negative emotions, bad emotions, sad emotions, anxiety, things of that nature. And I hope that you can find this video valuable. Take what you like, leave what you don't. And with that being said, let's get into some things you can do to cope with bad emotions on quarantine. Negative emotions usually get stirred up because something is unresolved inside of you. It's usually a buildup, not always, but it's usually a buildup of things until you just have this pain inside of you that needs to be released. It's a negative energy that needs to be released. And so the key to coping with negative emotions is finding a healthy avenue of releasing that negative energy, that pent up energy. So you have to think to yourself, what is a healthy way that I can express myself that will help me release that energy? Energy does not die. It is only transferred or transformed. So keep that in mind, because if there's something that you're going through and you think that if you just bottle it up or keep it inside of you, it's gonna go away, it's not. It's gonna sit there and it's gonna manifest until it grows and it grows, or it turns into something else, or you have an unhealthy way of releasing that energy, like fighting with somebody or getting mad or just drinking or whatever that might be for you. So I'm going to be talking about some healthy ways that we can release that energy. And the first one is going to be through journaling, or what I like to call talk therapy, which is just talking through whatever it is that you're going through. Yes, journaling takes a little bit of time to have to sit there and write out everything that you're feeling. And yes, talking to somebody doesn't seem always like the best solution, because if you're anything like me, I don't always know how people can help me, or I don't want people to feel bad for me. But what happens when you're releasing that energy and when you're talking through or journaling through your emotions is you realize that a lot of the solution to the problem you think you're having is inside of you. Talking it out and journaling it out, I believe, is one of the best ways that you can come to your own conclusions, come to your own realizations, and release the emotion so you can start to think more logically about the situation and how you can best handle it. But you really do have to release that energy. And I know I'm saying release that energy a lot, but it's so true. And I just want to say it enough to where you actually believe it and take some sort of action step towards not letting that hate, that I thought I was getting a call, that hate, that anger, that sadness, that depression inside of you. Here's an example. When I was going through a breakup of mine, this was about like 2 or 3 years ago, I remember after I went through it, nothing made me feel better at all. Nobody could help me, buy me anything, do anything for me. But the one thing that I found helped once I got over myself of wanting to seclude myself was talking and sharing the same story over and over and over and over again to my friends who knew that that's what I needed to do. They knew I needed to talk it out, and I shared the same story over and over and over. And over time, it really does help you, and I fully believe that. So I encourage you to find somebody to talk to, find a community to talk to, journal out your feelings if you're feeling like you want to do this a little more alone. Or you can even talk through your feelings on a video like this, even if it doesn't go anywhere. The next thing you can do to deal with negative emotions or unwanted emotions is to find an avenue of expression. Find a creative outlet that you can invest your energy into that takes your mind off of the problem. Yes, whatever you invest your time into is going to take some upfront effort, but you will get into a flow state of just going and having your time and energy invested into something beautiful or creative or flowing or awesome, like dance, like painting, like drawing. That could also be journaling or writing or creating a website or starting a YouTube channel or something that's an interest to you or something that you can invest your time into to take your mind off of it. And I know sometimes when we get into these headspaces of feeling down or depressed or sad or anxious, it's hard to find the motivation to get into those spaces. I have videos on motivation. I'll link them down below and right above so you can see them. But one thing that helps me is bribing myself a little bit or taking a small action step and then timing myself. Okay, so if you want to invest your time into something creative, tell yourself, I'm gonna do this for 25 minutes. Set a timer on your phone. There's even an app you can use called Flora, where if you sign out of the app, then you're growing a plant. And if you sign out of the app, then the plant dies. But if you stay in it and don't be on your phone, then you start to grow a whole forest of stuff. But when you set a timer, you kind of have incentive to keep going. And then what I find is that after the first initial few minutes of having to push myself to do something, I enter again into a flow state. And then I'm just going, and then your creative juices begin to fly. So find whatever that is for you. Cooking for somebody, cooking for yourself, and try and invest your energy into something so you can release some of that negative energy as well. The next thing you can do to release any negative energy is to deep breathe. Deep breathing is free, and it's one of the best ways that you can ease stress and lower your cortisol levels. And one of the one of the breathing techniques that I like to do is called the 4-7-8 breaths. And I know there's a lot of videos on different types of breathing, Wim Hof breathing, some yoga breath work and stuff like that. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show you what I do every morning and every night, but you can use it whenever you need to. But as a little bit of a backup, we spend so much of our time taking short inhales, exhales, when in reality, we need those deep breaths. So whenever you have the opportunity to remind yourself to breathe with your stomach and not just your chest, then it's better for you. So 4-7-8 breaths. You're going to inhale for the count of 4, count for the count of 7, and exhale for the count of 8. And I do this about 4 to 6 times, and it instantly puts me into a better state. Maybe close your eyes, maybe do some sort of meditation, but some form of deep breathing can greatly benefit you, especially if you have a lot of stress or anxiety or feelings like that. And those are the 3 things that I would tell you to start with if you are not in the best mood. But I am going to give you a quick bonus tip, which is to nourish your body with food that's going to make you feel good, minerals, vitamins, nutrient-dense foods, lots of greens, because food really does affect your mood. Your gut is like your second brain, and it really has the power to dictate how you feel. You know, what you feel on the inside projects on the outside. So fuel your body with good foods that are good for you, nourish yourself, eat enough, and that's all the tips I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little video. Thank you so much for the question. Please, I would love it if you guys asked me your questions. I would love to touch on them. You can send me in questions at EdenGoldInquiries@gmail.com or head over to my Instagram. I respond to all of my messages at EdenGold_, or my Instagram page specifically for students, millennials, and Gen Zs, where you have a voice. We tackle mental health problems that we see in schools and just in life to create good, positive, and sustainable habits, which is at the.foreverstudent. Love you guys, sending you my hugs, my joy, my good energy, and fix your mood. You can do it. You have the power to be happy. Happiness is a choice. All right, guys.